What's up guys, welcome to the Gear Shelf. In this episode, I am going to be giving an overview of what's in my cinematography kit in 2025, plus a Pelican 1535 Air review. And this is what is in my kit for this year. We have so much to go over and I'm going to start from left to right. But for starters, we have my camera of choice, the Blackmagic 6K Pro. This thing is incredible. I love this camera. This is with the Tilta cage, of course. I have it with the bottom cage right here, and then the SSD holder is left on, as well as the SSD cable. And we have this HDMI adapter that goes in here. This camera is awesome. I love it. And it lives right on the bottom, facing this way specifically because it's the only way that I cut it to fit. We're going to go through battery solutions. So we have the SmallRig battery plate right here. This just sits right in here. And then we also have my Indy Pro V-mount. This V-mount is essential. I need to do a dedicated review on this because I love Indy Pro and I think their batteries are awesome. They're super simple, but they last like 10 plus years and I've used them for many, many years. So that's great. This is the Tilta Rails base plate for the Blackmagic. This is awesome because it actually has a few great advantages. It has an Arca Swiss style plate that slides in from the sled. And then these are latches rather than like the SmallRig twist clips, which I actually prefer. And then eventually one day I can get shoulder mounts on the side here so you can mount them with the rosette mounts. And then I have my Manfrotto 502 head that just has two Manfrotto screws forever on here. So this thing is so solid, so legit. This kind of cost a fortune, but I love it. Now we have the Tilta follow focus. This will go on top of the rails as well, and I love it. Now moving forward, we have a spot for a lens, but this is where my Helios 44-2 lives with the M42 to EF adapter. So super generic, nothing too crazy, but a fun little lens to try out every once in a while. This is going to be where all my rails, my top handle, my SSD, all this stuff lives. So let's just open it up. So right here we have the preferred NATO top handle that can just slide on here. If I were to let's say, oh, I want to get this camera out as soon as possible, I literally can slide it on, tighten this down, and it's out. So I don't even have to worry about that fumble I kind of was experiencing in the beginning. I know I'm crossbreeding with Tilta and SmallRig, but I think that's kind of the way you got to do it with these things. Let me just take this rail off. It's kind of embarrassing. So that goes back in here. Here we have my cables. So this is the D-Tap to Blackmagic cable that goes from the battery. The obviously HDMI cable for the monitor that we'll get into in a bit. And then we also have this SmallRig thing that I just picked up. I love this thing. This thing's really good because it is RA style locating pins. And so with this specific monitor, I put this in right here, and I'm so set because I can have a mic on the side with my monitor on the top, and it's just kind of a beautiful little match made in heaven. Then we have the MPF batteries for the monitor. Got two of them, might need to get some more, but love these things. And then we got the Samsung T7 Shield 1 terabyte model. This is just my working drive, so it's blue because all my others are black. The Tilta follow focus rings. Another monitor mount in case I'm using a different camera like a Fuji or a Canon or any other mirrorless. This just goes right into the hot shoe and it's nice to have. And I also have that hot shoe on that top handle like I said earlier, right here. So if I really wanted to put this on the side or move this anywhere along my build, it's possible. So, and then we have my two SmallRig rails. These I believe are the 10mm. I could be wrong, I don't actually know. I like these. Maybe I'll get some extenders, but they've served me well for the time being. But these rattle, so I'd recommend wrapping it in a little cloth. Yeah, so nice. But I fit all of that just deep down in here. Now that I'm starting to buy lenses, I've decided I wanted this to kind of be my lens case. So when I'm here in the States, I can actually fill this up with other gear and I have like a camera built case. This is how I kind of can take apart every piece in my rig and transport it if I need to go as lightweight as possible. This was the original intention, was getting a lens case. So that's kind of why this is designed the way it is. So I'm just going to talk about the lenses I have currently. I'm looking at selling some of these and getting some newer ones, but up here we got the Sigma 24-1.4. Love this lens, probably am gonna sell it though. And then we have the Canon 24-105 Trusty. This is my favorite. It's an f4, but it's got the IS. Kind of a need on the Blackmagic, and it's just like a good, solid, stereotypical, clean image. It's nothing crazy, and it's a stills lens as well, of course. Sorry, the old Canon 10-18 Trusty. I was looking at selling this, but this has been actually kind of fun for some experimental stuff. And it's not the sharpest, but it's actually not terrible. And then right here, we have my Rokinon 35-1.4, not the cine version, unfortunately. So maybe one day I'll upgrade, or I might just sell this lens entirely. I don't actually really know. For the final part of this build, we have this bottom section. A few things. We got our NPF battery charger with the respected micro USB, because we are still in the 18th century and no one has learned that we don't like mini USB, micro USB, all of those except USB-C. Right here, we have the Shinobi 2. This monitor has been my favorite choice in this new kit of this year. I love everything about this monitor. For $350, it is the best monitor on the market, and I'm convinced of it. So I must protect it with my life, not really. So then, you would take obviously you would take the NPF and put them on here, and this kind of lives on one of these monitor mounts. That's basically my cinematography kit. In terms of the Pelican itself, it's really hard to see on video, but this whole build is a ton of space. And even though it's technically the smallest carry-on, I love having all of these things organized because it's all laid out and it's just beautiful. I fit so much stuff stacked on top of each other that's like miscellaneous. I could totally fit like a Fuji X-H2S in here with another lens. The world is really your oyster when it comes to these Pelicans. I also need to talk about TrekPack. So TrekPack is this innovative new technology that they made where it's basically some plastic with foam on the outside. Now, it doesn't look like this until you really feel TrekPack yourself. It's very, very sturdy. And this is important because I've seen videos where people have used the padded ones and the lens have totally shattered because it like rattles around. But it's so much worth it because now this is so sturdy. Like seriously, I have no issue taking this on a plane, literally anywhere. So I think the TrekPack is a must. I didn't use the red goofy pull tabs because if I'm gonna really customize it, I'll just use my fingers. In terms of other stuff with this case, the reason why you want to go with the Air simply is these latches. I'm gonna tell you, the weight is nice, but these latches are the best thing that's ever happened to Pelican. They feel way better than the others, and these are not going to accidentally open up on your flight. Opposed to the other ones, I get kind of scared. These aren't foolproof, obviously, and you probably still should use a lock on the side, but this ability for it to just kind of satisfyingly open up, and it's airtight and air sealed, and all of this stuff is just beautifully kept safe. If you're in a car, going on set on a plane, the idea that I got this smallest one is so I could bring my whole cinematography kit to a shoot if I needed to fly out to New York or something. I really do like how this all kind of comes together, and each part is interchangeable. And when I'm planning on selling some of these lenses, that was kind of my idea, was I wanted something that I can grow into. Obviously I have all this kit right now, but yeah. It's also definitely a pain to figure out how people should like store their Blackmagic, but this has been my favorite solution. I think the Pelican 1535 Air really is a very good value for money. It was definitely like $150 more, but just for those latches alone, the sound, the feel, you save a lot of weight with the Air. I like how the Air handles. Obviously you have a thinner handle, which I was a little worried about, but I don't think it's too big of an issue in my opinion. I weighed this last night. It's about 25.5 pounds. So, 50 pounds is the limit for like a checked bag, but you're well under that with this kit. If you look right here, I don't have the dividers. I'm looking at one day of getting the cable dividers up here to get the most out of this product. I would love to have it. I just didn't feel like spending the money right now. ND filters, Pro Mist, all that stuff could be separated and elegantly placed. This is simply just like put on here, so it's not that big of a deal to just like take out one day. Yeah, no, that's kind of my initial overview of everything that's in my cinematography kit in 2024. So if you like this review, please stay tuned and I will see you in the next one.